Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about administering powdered medications to your VOKRA kitty. I will not be talking about pills or liquid meds in this video. That will be in a subsequent video if that's what you're looking for. Alright, there are a few different powdered medications we use at VOKRA, such as PEG or polyethylene glycol, or Aventi for the kidney disease cats. And there are two different techniques you can use to administer powdered medications. The first one is by far the preferable method, and the second one is not as recommended. So let's cover the first one. That would be administering the powdered medication with a syringe. For this, you will need, obviously, a syringe. You will need some tuna juice or some other tasty liquids, such as watered down baby food. Cats love that. The juice from crab meat or any other sort of meaty or fishy juice. And you will also need your powdered medication measured out. You will also need another vessel, by the way. Okay, so to start, grab your syringe. This is very important. If you were to take your powdered medication and just dump it into your tasty liquid, well, it's really hard to gauge. Like, this 1 ml syringe looks pretty big, but really it's such a minute amount of liquid that more than likely you're going to end up still having a bunch of liquid left over in your container. For that reason, I would recommend drawing up in your syringe first however much you're going to administer. I would do just slightly less than the entire amount of your syringe, and then put it in a separate container. That would be very hard to estimate that this is going to be our total amount of our liquid portion. So that's why I recommend measuring it out first. All right, to this, you would just add your powder medication. So I'm going to do that. Come on. Okay. So it's in there and we can just stir it together. Some medications can be really tough to dissolve. In particular, Aventi, it kind of just floats at the top, so you might have a little bit of difficulty with that. You're just going to have to be extra sure to make sure you stir it in and drop as much as you can. Okay, so I've mixed it in here, and I'm going to draw it up. There we go. So I'm left with nothing in this container, and my entire syringe is full. Okay, we're going to need a little cat model to show us how to administer this now. All right, Walter. Come on, mister. Walter is my more difficult cat, so we'll see if this works. If not, we'll bring over the big glutton who loves tuna juice. Okay. Anytime that you are administering any sort of medication to a cat's face, be it eye drops or ear meds or in the mouth as we're doing today, you're going to want to make sure that you've got the cat's booty up against you, because as soon as you start doing anything nasty to their face, they're going to start backing up. And it's really hard to be simultaneously holding a syringe, making sure they don't go forward, and making sure they don't go backward. So by having them against your body, you can kind of use your body as an extra appendage to make sure that they're staying in place. With this hand, you can hold their face to steady it so that you can administer the med. And then you can use your remaining hand to on the syringe. Okay, so a little bit of cat anatomy. Behind their canine teeth, they've got this wonderful little gap. And this is the best thing in the world because it means that we've got a little hole that we can slot the syringe into right there. Hopefully you guys can see that right in there. So we're going to use that to our advantage. You slide this in, and then we can administer the med. He can taste the tuna, so he's very excited. Something that's very important. Number one, you're not shoving it down their throat. You wouldn't want them to aspirate on the liquid. We're just putting it in their mouth and letting them swallow it. Yeah, mister. Another important thing on the note of not having your kitty aspirate, this is quite a lot. This is 1 ml. Anytime I've got more than a ml, I definitely make sure to split it up. But usually any more than 0.5, I take a break. So this is 1 ml. We're going to do it in 2 portions. We're going to do 0.5, give him a little break so he has a chance to swallow, and then 0.5 again. All right, so I've got his butt against me. I'm going to hold his face with this one hand. Yo, you look crazy. And then with this hand, slot it behind those teeth. And he really liked it because it just tasted like tuna juice. So he really didn't mind that at all. Okay, one more time. Let's do the second portion. There you go. Pretty easy. If you've got little kittens at home, I would recommend even just taking some tuna juice and practicing with them. It'll give you a chance to get comfortable handling cats and administering oral meds with a syringe, but it'll also make them less syringe shy. So down the line, they can take oral meds like little champions and they won't be too concerned about it. All right, so that's our most preferred method. Why is that? Well, we have the most control of making sure they eat the entire amount of the powdered medication, and they quite enjoy it, although it is not really possible to do with feral cats. Of course, we're not going to be able to handle them and put anything in their mouth if they're completely feral. So in that scenario, I would use option number 2, which would be mixing the powdered medication in their food. Ordinarily, I do not recommend this method because unless the cat eats the entire amount and licks up every last bit off of the plate, you're not going to be able to know if they've gotten a complete dose. So for that reason, not as much recommended, but if your cat's feral or you're just really uncomfortable handling your cat, but you know that they're a fantastic eater and they will eat every last little bit, in that scenario, then it is acceptable to put it in some food. Okay, so once again, we're going to be using our tuna. You can use baby food, again, very popular, the Gerber's little chicken baby food. Did you want some more? He's a big fan of oral meds. You can use other popular foods like BFF, Weruva, canned crab, anything that's extra special for your cat. I would not recommend putting it in just their regular first mate dinner because they're going to be able to smell the medication a little bit and you just want to entice them. They're not going to really want it if it's their regular dinner. The most crucial thing about giving the medication in the food is do not use too much. This is not a whole meal. This is just a little treat. So we want to be mindful. If you put on a ton, that diminishes the likelihood that they're going to eat all of it, and you're not going to know if they got a whole dose. So very small amount increases the likelihood that they're going to eat the entire amount. And then now we can just add in our powdered med. I'm going to just dump the entire measured out dose into there. Okay. You can see it on there. And mix it in. Mix it in really well. Otherwise, again, they'll see it. Okay. And ta-da! Now we've got our little amount of food with our mixed in medication. So now we can present it to our cat. And I know for sure that he's going to eat the whole amount. So in this scenario, if he was a feral little kitty and I did not want to handle him or stress him out, and I knew he was going to eat this with a great appetite, then of course this would be a really great method. But in general, especially if it's a cat you don't know as well or one that hasn't been eating well, you want to make sure that they're getting the whole dose, so I would not recommend this. If they don't end up eating it, it's also quite wasteful because there's no way for us to be removing that amount. Now we've got a little bit of a competition. I'm sorry, Stud, I'll give you a separate amount later. All right, guys, so to summarize, 2 main techniques for administering medications in the powder form would be in a syringe and would be in their food. The former is far more preferable to the latter. I hope that was informative and that I didn't ramble on too much. And I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys have any trouble administering medications to your kitty or finding whatever the best technique will be, please contact your foster coordinator right away. We want to make sure that your kitty is getting properly medicated, and we want to work with you because we know that you know your kitty the best. Alrighty, thanks so much, guys.